good afternoon, morning, whatever time it is you might be watching this. Welcome to Brewing with Scott Leffler. I'm your host. My name is Scott Leffler, and it is about 2:45 in the morning as I record this on Thursday. For me, it's still Wednesday, because it's still Wednesday until I wake up. So it's still Wednesday to me. And I'm recording the show now because I found out earlier. See, this is very confusing for me because it's still Wednesday for me. So I found it out today, but it's actually Thursday in real life, so it was yesterday. Anyway, I have a meeting this morning, so I won't be able to do the show live, which is a shame because I enjoy the whole tweeting thing. You can still tweet me while watching the show. Just tweet me at Scott Leffler, but I'm not going to be able to respond live because I recorded this last night. See, this is like time travel now. You're going back in time to 2:49 a.m. on Thursday. And yes, I'm drinking coffee just before bed. Now, it's not actually my bedtime yet. I usually go to bed between 4 and 5, all things depending. Last night, actually, I went to bed around 2 a.m. That is super early for me. That would be like you going to bed, well, depending on what time you normally go to bed, but that would be like you going to bed really early. You going to bed like 2 or 3 hours early. So it's not yet bedtime for me, and I thought, well, I'll do the show tonight, and I can upload it, and then in the morning when you want to watch it, bam, it's there, or the afternoon when you want to watch it, because you tune in at 12:30, right? You tune in at 12:30, you're like, hey, that show's on. And so I have some fun things to talk about today, this morning. Whatever! Fun things to talk about. Bam! Are you ready for some real football? Because a deal was announced just a couple hours ago, about midnight, that the real refs are coming back. By the way, I'm in the kitchen. You remember I used to do the show in the kitchen? I'm back in the kitchen because the living room is kind of over my neighbor's bedroom, or at least close to it, and I can get loud at times. So anyway, real football because the refs are coming back. A deal was announced just a couple hours ago that the NFL and the real refs, they've got a tentative deal and everything's okay. And for tonight's game between Cleveland and Baltimore, they're going to be real refs. Now the terms of the deal are blah blah blah, and no one cares because I really couldn't care less what the terms of the deal are. All I know is the real refs are going to be back, and we can start bitching about those instead of bitching about the fake refs, because the real refs won't screw up as much, but they'll still screw up because they're freaking referees, and that's what referees do. So I don't know. So we've got that done. That is taken care of. The refs are set. Now, can we get hockey, please? Because really, I much prefer hockey over real refs for football because whatever. Hockey! Football, hockey! That's my personal belief. I know other people disagree. Other people are like, no, dude, it's all football, man. And like hockey's like hosers and stuff. Yeah, anyway. New topic. iOS 6. So Apple introduced a new operating system for their iPhones, and they auto-update. The iPhone users now are using iOS 6, which is operating system 6. I don't know what the I stands for. Do you? Really, do you know what the I stands for? I think it's just like, yo, I. So anyway, iOS 6 users are, I almost said iOS sex users. Sex users. Well, it is 3 in the morning. iOS 6 users are slightly less satisfied, apparently, than they were with iOS 5. So pretty much they went from T to T. I don't know, like they're Apple users, so maybe you're an Apple user. I don't like you. Don't watch this show. Watch a different show. Find a show with somebody who sucks so that the show can suck just like your phone does. Just saying. Alright, so maybe you can stick around if you want to, but I don't like your phone. I like my phone. See my phone? It's pretty. It's sexy. It's ooh. Ooh, look, you can, if I do this, you can see my notes kind of. Ooh, kind of. And look, there's me. I don't know. I'm easily amused. But I like my Android phone. I never want an Apple anything because I use an Apple computer for work and I hate it. In fact, yesterday at work, today at work, but it's yesterday now for you watching it. So again, with the time travel thing, I walk into work, I sit down at my desk, I start putzing around on my computer. About 10 minutes after getting to work, I stood up. I swore at everyone in the room. I told them all to F off. I told them that I hate them. And then I left. And I said that I would return at some point. This is not a way to start your day at work. This is what I did yesterday, though, because I hate my computer, because it's a Mac and it just doesn't frickin' work. It doesn't do simple things like text edit, and I've had several Mac products over the years, and nothing has ever worked quite right. I bought my wife an iPod because she wanted one. I couldn't get the frickin' thing to work. We ended up taking it back. I don't know, whatever. Anyway, so I walk into work, and I ended up leaving. I left for like a couple hours until I calmed down, and then I came back because now I'm not chewing the gum now. Remember I was chewing the gum yesterday? I'm not chewing gum now, but I'm also still not smoking. In fact, it's been 24 hours since I've had a cigarette, which might not sound like a big deal to people who don't smoke, but 24 hours since I've had a cigarette. And while not smoking, I'm also, I don't know if you can tell, you probably can really, if you go back and look at one of the earlier shows, losing considerable amount of weight. I'm down to like 184. So I'm not smoking. I'm apparently not eating. Life is and I'm using a freaking Mac. No wonder I want to kill people. So iOS 6 customers aren't happy. Among other things, the new map program on the iPhone, it's like Apple Maps or something stupid like that. It pales in comparison to Google Maps. Google does things well, which is why Android phones are awesome and Apple phones are not. So Google Maps, they've had several years to curate it, deal with it, etc., figure it out. But Apple Maps, not so much. And they show like islands in like the wrong places, and they show like businesses that don't really exist, and Apple Maps just doesn't have it together. So people aren't happy about that. And like the Google Maps isn't even available on iOS 6 anymore, or not anymore because iOS 6 just got created. But Google Maps isn't even available on iOS 6, so they're trying to figure out workarounds so that people can actually use their phones and, I don't know, be productive with them. However, worth noting in this story, overall, customer concerns remain relatively low. Now, I think that Apple forces you to update, don't they? I'm not positive, but I believe that that's the case. So, to those of you who are using iOS 6 against your will, Mazel Tov. What does Mazel Tov mean? I don't know. I hope I wasn't offensive. I hope that was not offensive, because I didn't mean it to be offensive. If you buy your new iPad, pod, phone, whatever, on the internet, you may find in the very near future that you're going to have to pay tax on that. Now, here's the deal with most internet taxes. If the company that you're buying from has a brick and mortar store in your state, then you will have to pay taxes on it. So in other words, if you live anywhere and you buy something off Walmart.com, you have to pay taxes on it. However, if you buy something from Amazon, unless there's an Amazon store that you can go and purchase something in your state, you probably don't have to pay taxes on it. However, states are looking to change this around. In fact, starting next year, Virginia has made it so that if you buy anything online, you do have to pay taxes. Anything tangible has to be something that gets delivered. In New Jersey, I think it was New Jersey. I don't know, New Jersey's home to all sorts of bad ideas. One politician is suggesting that any money you spend online, period, ever, gets taxed. I'm really surprised that New York hasn't already started taxing people with their online purchases. Now, I do know that if you buy something online, technically there's like a line on your income tax where you're supposed to pay for it there, but I don't know how that works, and I've certainly never done it. I do buy things online. I buy things on eBay, I buy things on Amazon, a variety of other places. Coffee is really good tonight. So, you may have to start paying taxes on your internet purchases. I'm sorry, that's the way our government is. They're very greedy. But maybe not. Not if Mitt Romney gets elected. Woo! Because Romney's going to save everything because he's Mitt frickin' Romney and everybody loves Mitt Romney and yay, Mitt Romney! Except nobody loves Mitt Romney because he's Mitt frickin' Romney and really? Mitt Romney is tanking, according to the latest Quinnipiac poll. Quinnipiac. That's fun to say. That's like in Elf. Francisco. That's fun to say. Quinnipiac. Anyway, according to the latest Quinnipiac poll, I'm really just drinking coffee, by the way. And I'm not actually crazy. Actually, that's never been proven. I know this. I have a piece of paper that says that I'm not an alcoholic. I have a piece of paper that says that I'm not a drug addict. And I have a piece of paper that says that I am STD free. I do not have a piece of paper that says that I'm not crazy, though. Note to self, get one of those. Crazy eyes. Anyway, the latest Quinnipiac poll shows that Barack Obama, the president of the United States, is up to Mitt Romney, the guy that wants to be president, in Florida by the tune of 53 to 44%. That's a 9-point lead. In Ohio, it's 53-43, 10 points. And in Pennsylvania, it's 54 to 42. That's 12 percentage points. Now, this is a wider margin than most of the other polls have shown. However, it is also the most recent poll. And frankly, Quinnipiac polls tend to be pretty accurate. So it really looks as though Barack Obama is pulling away and Mitt Romney is tanking. However, there's still 41 days to go. We're not in October yet. Who knows what's going to happen? Maybe we find out that Barack Obama was actually born in Hawaii. I mean Kenya. Wherever it was, he was allegedly born. Really? I don't know. I just see that Romney is doing worse and worse the more this campaign goes on. And that's due to his own fault because he keeps talking. So there you go. Alright, I got two things left. And both of them are kind of fun. And which one do I start with? I'm going to start with France. Apparently, the U.S. military, the military-industrial complex, published a handbook about how to get along with the French. This is a true story. The U.S. military published a handbook talking about how to get along with French people. Now, this is called 112 Gripes About the French. It was a 1945 handbook issued to enlisted personnel arriving in France following the liberation. The military saw the locals, the French, as being arrogant and wanting to flaunt their apparent wealth and Frenchiness. And the locals, the French, saw the military as being proud and resentful. Apparently, fights were breaking out. So we go in, we liberate France, and then we beat them up. Fights are breaking out all over, fears are raised, and it looked like the two groups weren't even allies. 112 Gripes About the French featured a series of well-rehearsed complaints about the French, and then provided a common-sense response to each of them. It has recently been republished, if you're looking for 112 Gripes About the French, in the United States, and even been republished in France, where it goes by the name Nos Amis les Français, which is our friends, the French. Notice that it doesn't say anything about gripes against the French. It's our friends, the French, and this is how we should deal with them. Kid gloves. All right. Now, very near to France is a town called England. In England, there are pigs, and from pigs we get bacon. But next year, that might not be the case. Yes, actually, pig farmers in Great Britain say that herd sizes are significantly decreasing, and they're really, really, really worried about a this is hard to say, bacon shortage next year. Yeah, pig farmers in Great Britain say that there's going to be bacon shortages next year. And in fact, not just in Great Britain, so this is going to affect us. Apparently, pig feed, and I don't know what pigs eat. I think they eat anything, don't they? Don't they eat like Dexter's Victims? Pig feed is getting too expensive, so pigs are getting too expensive. Bacon comes from pigs. Bacon's going to get too expensive, and what's going to happen is that there will be less pigs because there's less pig feed. They won't make as many pigs, so there won't be as much bacon because it's too expensive to keep, it's too expensive to sell, and blah, 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 and yakety schmackety. Long story short, bacon shortage. Not happy about it. But it is what it is, ladies and gentlemen. Bacon makes everything better, including coffee. But I don't have bacon in my coffee. Now, this is funny because there's a bacon shortage because there's a pig shortage, right? But note that I didn't tell you that there was a sausage shortage. Note that I didn't tell you that there was a ham shortage. And note that I didn't tell you that there was a pork shortage. Because while I like sausage, ham, and pork in general, it's really all about the bacon. So, just saying. Kind of like the difference between chuck steaks and steaks. Like no one's like, oh no, there's going to be a chuck steak shortage. There's going to be a steak shortage. Or maybe a hamburger shortage. But no one's like, oh wow, chuck steaks. We're going to miss out on those. Unless, of course, maybe you're French. Maybe that's one of the 112 gripes that people have about the French. I'm not really sure. Anyway, to you who's watching, do me a favor. Tweet me at Scott Leffler and say, hey Scott, I love your show. Hey Scott, your show is stupid. Hey Scott, why do you broadcast from your kitchen? Well, I'm broadcasting from my kitchen tonight because it's now 4 minutes after 3 in the morning, and I don't want my neighbor to yell at me because she's really nice, and I do keep sort of weird hours, so yeah, in the kitchen where I can actually talk instead of in the living room where I broadcast yesterday, which was actually earlier today. We're back to the time-space continuum thing. I don't know. Run for it, Marty! You've been watching Brewing. I'm your host. My name's Scott Leffler. I'll see you Friday. Beer!